Ruger made a Glock. That's weird. I'm going to dive in on the new Ruger RXM pistol and introduce the new AT3 Spear XL suppressor-ready handguards on this week's Gear Grind. Alright, I think we all got hit with the RXM marketing blitz the week before Christmas, but I'm interested to see what exactly you're getting and what you can actually do with the fire control insert and grip module. Fit. At its core, the RXM is very similar to a Gen 3 Glock 19. I know, groundbreaking. Standard stuff applies. You can use pretty much any 15 round or higher Glock compatible magazine, you can drop in a threaded Gen 3 19 barrel, and most of your bits and bobs like slide stops are going to work just fine too. For the slide, it's optics ready and direct mounts RMR, Delta Point Pro, and RMSC footprint optics. This uses screws and different locating pins for the different patterns, so you can adjust to what you need. And plus, those three patterns cover the vast majority of red dot sights on the market, and the way they're mounted should be very secure for you. Ruger also claims this will fit most Glock 19 holsters, but check out their website for compatibility and always test for yourself. Now, the most interesting thing is that the frame is not actually the serialized part here. The pistol uses a fire control insert, or FCI, that contains your trigger, slide rails, and trigger housing. And with this, you can even customize your trigger and disconnector with Glock Gen 3 compatible parts. And Magpul looks set to offer different grips. At the moment, we've only got the standard size in black and gray, but I anticipate Glock 19X or 26 style grip modules in the future. Feel. You know, I'm gonna say it. This doesn't feel like a Glock 19. It feels more like a PSA dagger in the best way possible. The grip doesn't have the Glock hump in the palm and feels more natural to point, at least for me. And you also have a nice undercut for your middle finger and a slight bob to the magwell to reduce how much you print when you carry. The magazine release is rather small, and I've always had trouble with the Gen 3 releases, but Ruger's improvements do make it easier to hit the button without completely breaking your grip. On top of that, you also have an extended slide stop, good forward and rear serrations, and really nice lockup all around. No complaints here. Form. The RXM keeps it simple. Charitably, it's a little generic. If you want to be mean, it does read as off-brand Glock, but there's some small touches here that make it work. For one, your slide has a little more to it with some interesting serrations and contours at the front and good grippy serrations at the rear. With that signature TSP texture, the grip does evoke that Magpul AR-15 part vibe, which I actually really like, and it fits your palm and grips really well. Function. Not a huge surprise here, but the RXM runs. Even with all the neat little touches, at its core, this is based on a proven design produced by two of the biggest manufacturers in the gun space. Out of the box, the RXM comes with two Magpul GL9 magazines, which run just fine, but you can run OEM Glock or pretty much any reliable aftermarket mag here and still be in very good shape. The stock trigger works very well. It's a flat face design with a good break without too much striker-fired sponge in the middle. I'd easily put it on the level of a Gen 5 Glock for reference. Though I ran it with optics, you can absolutely do good work with these steel sights with a blacked out rear and a tritium front post stock. Overall, I'd say this is a pistol I'd have no problem recommending for anybody. Features. With the Gen 3 Glock compatibility plus the new Magpul grip module, the RXM is already very compelling as an upgrade or customization platform. But we have to acknowledge that a lot of companies have played the Me Too game with Gen 3 Glock clones, so how does the RXM stack up? Street price on these seems to hover around $400 or so, right in line with what you see from Anderson, Polymer 80, and a bevy of others, but not quite as low as the PSA Dagger. And without trying to rag on anyone for product quality and overall satisfaction, Ruger typically makes very good products, and if you're going to rely on a handgun, it's worth spending money for higher quality, basically every time. Plus, it's fun to imagine what's next for this platform. I'm all but certain Magpul and Ruger will make some announcements during SHOT Show this year, and I'll be there to dive in when we've got some updates. Now, let's jump into the AR-15 world, specifically into AT3's new Spear XL handguards, which dropped just yesterday. This will be more of a breakdown than a full review. I work here, I'm biased, I can only shill so hard in one video. Fit. The Spear XL is an AR-15 M-LOK handguard, and it is suppressor ready. This handguard will fit on our billet AT3 upper receivers, standard forged uppers, and even the Aero M4E1 uppers. Most uppers will fit, but some billet designs may not. Check with us, we might have the answer if it's compatible for you. Aside from that, this handguard also has a 1.74-inch internal diameter, which is enough to fit a huge variety of 5.56, 30 cal, and 9mm suppressors on the market underneath the handguard. If you're not familiar with the concept, this is a really good option if you want to run a fully suppressed build, but still want to keep your modern AR-15 ergonomics with the ability to push your grip all the way to the end of the handguard and mount foregrips and lights down there as well. As far as installation, it's pretty easy. The barrel nut only needs about 30 foot-pounds of torque and requires a little bit of time to line up the gas tube, but after that, it's just a matter of slipping on the two-piece collar, tightening down some screws, and you're off to the races. Feel. Right away, you will notice how light we've made the Spear XL. When AT3 came out with the Spear M-LOK handguards, we really wanted to make something as light as reasonable for most rifles, and we've kept that philosophy here. We have lightning cuts at the 45s and all across the length of the Picatinny top rail, and that's all 6061 T6 aluminum for the rail itself. Where we've managed to save a lot more weight than some of our competitors is in the barrel nut assembly. We use a steel barrel nut with the Spear XL as well as a two-piece aluminum lockup to make sure that the large inside diameter is properly supported. And then it's just this lightweight rail sliding over and fastening into place. By the way, the 15-inch version is only about 14 ounces, including the barrel nut and hardware, and the 12-inch version is 12.5 ounces. We've kept a lot of what we like about the Spear the same for the Spear XL, including those larger lightning cuts and the finger grooves down the full length of the handguard. We're offering these in a standard black anodized finish, as well as Magpul flat dark earth and Magpul OD green Cerakote shades. So you can rest assured you can match your new handguard to your favorite Magpul furniture set, as well as all the different options we'll be offering for upper and handguard bundles, as well as full builder sets with our AT15 lower receivers. We've also got these in 12 and 15-inch lengths, so just choose the one that's going to be right for your barrel and suppressor combo. With that large inside diameter, you can rest assured that as long as your suppressor has the clearance, your barrel will remain free floating when you're firing. All that to make sure you're getting good, repeatable accuracy out of your equipment. One thing to keep in mind, and this is true of basically running any rifle suppressed, get a pair of gloves that can stand up to the heat while you're using this. The Spear XL has a lot of ventilation, so it should cool quickly. But if you're sustaining fire for a long time, your barrel and can are going to get saturated with heat, so just protect yourself. Features. A couple of things that I think make the Spear XL a compelling option for you. One is the ease of installation. A lot of suppressor-ready handguards can be difficult to time properly, but ours is pretty straightforward and very simple. Second of all, it's super light. As I said, the 15-inch version is only 14 ounces with all the hardware, and I don't think you'll find anything lighter, short of making the leap to carbon fiber. And since not everybody wants to drop $300 on a handguard, let's talk price. The Spear XL starts at only $160, and if you're starting on a fresh build, you can save on those builder bundles, and they already have some built-in discounts for you. Just 2 things today, but a lot to talk about. I think we can safely call it here. I hope you learned something useful or exciting in this episode. I'll be back in 2 weeks with some fresh products for you. And as always, if there's a gun or upgrade you want me to go hands-on with, slap a comment down below. I'll give you my honest take on it in a future video.